Okay, you ready? Or you probably videotaping?
It's videotaping.
Right Settle down. Settle the. You know what? Down. This is Billy D, and this is your weekly buzz, and we got the euroTORS here tonight. We've got Dr. Constable. Am I saying that right?
Perfect.
Really?
I don't have to correct you.
I'm not saying your last friggin' name, okay?
Try. Yeah.
Soderstrom?
Yeah, perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody knows Glow. Yeah, he's back. He's back on the buzz, and this is your second buzz. This is your first buzz.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how are things in Europe right now? Give us a little kind of glimpse into what's going on over there.
Well, it's cold in Sweden.
No.
That is so political. That's a good political answer.
No, come on, dude.
It's cold when it comes to chiropractic.
Okay, good answer. I like that. Sorry, I just mistook that a little bit there.
No worries.
So describe why it's cold in chiropractic. Are they going more the metapractic kind of?
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely. Yeah. And, you know, when you have a president of the ECU that states that, you know, one
And would you
use
describe
the
what the
words-
ECU is to our viewing audience here?
Well, that's the equivalent of, what would it be in the States?
The ACA?
Yeah. And you know, and he says that he's kind of proud of the fact that he never used the word subluxation and no one should use it. It's just a historical concept.
Really?
Yeah.
When we even have like scientific research that proves that where there's such thing as a subluxation, according to people like Chestnut and Dan Murphy, who I think are pretty sharp.
Yeah.
And who's this cat?
Well, I don't really know him, but it's just he's got a lot of influence into the European, community and the world of chiropractic.
You're being really politically correct tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, but
this
I
is
don't
the
know
buzz,
him.
dude.
Yeah.
You don't want to get shot when you get home. Is that it? Huh? You didn't think this was going to
But
be
Andreas
easy,
is
did
on
you?
the blacklist anyway. Everywhere.
Is he?
Anyway. Yeah.
You are too.
Really?
I think so. You're hanging out with me a little bit. That always gets people on the block.
I thought everyone still loved me.
Okay, so tell me what's going on in Germany. Since he's an Australian from Germany
No,
in California.
Germany's cool.
Is it?
Germany's cool. Yeah. We need.
But you can't take x-rays. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem because they don't accept our degree. They don't accept our radiology training, so you can't take your own films. Yeah, and you can't have everyone uniform getting films. Yeah?
Right.
Particularly with the basis of specific subluxation correction. It just doesn't work because
Right.
they have very
But you
strict
can take
radiation
x-rays
rules.
for pathology, which is 99% never there.
Right. Which is what, most people then do.
Yeah. You got to play the game, do the little dance.
A little bit.
But you said you had a little issue with that, didn't you? Or can you talk about that?
Which issue are you talking about? Because several issues.
This is gonna be with the quietest buzzes ever. It's like, how's everything over there? It's fine. It's great. It's fine.
No,
We
you're
can't
talking
do
about
this,
the
we can't
radiology
do
guy,
that.
like the
Yeah.
radiation protection guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You
they
told me this last
Yeah,
night.
well, they
Are you
have
short
like
memory?
they have like radio. I'm jet lag, man. Back off.
Oh,
So they
please.
have
That's
they
the
have
biggest-
like radiation protection people in every radiology practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if your name keeps coming up,
Like if you're busy?
like if you're busy, and at some stage they pull the pin, they're done.
Yeah.
Because they don't want everyone being radioed. I'm like, dude, it's like less than if you're standing in the room with a microwave oven on.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Particularly with digital X-rays, modern machinery. It's like boom.
Now you're over in Europe too a lot. What has been your kind of pulse?
Well, these guys are leaders over there, and I think it's important for the viewers to know that chiropractic, no matter where you are in the world, it's got its challenges. And some of the stuff here in the States, we take for granted. You just heard
Yeah.
it. The word subluxation, they can't use it. The leader of the ECU, who sets the precedent, thinks it's a historical artifact and shouldn't even be referenced in that term because then people might take a liking to the word and use it in their practice. They can't take X-rays. I mean, it's a big deal what's going on in Europe. And what we should all realize is that within chiropractic, whether it's down in Australia, here in the States, where you guys are, if one domino falls and a precedent is set, it's more likely that other countries or continents will leverage off of that and point to that political precedent and say, this is why we should follow the no adjusting children. This is why we should follow no taking x-rays. This is why we should not use the word subluxation. So it's really important we band together, have these guys speak at a DCS, because then people realize that we can't just go, well, that's in Germany or that's over in Sweden. No, we're all connected. And the second one precedent or one domino falls, it ties into the rest of us, like New Mexico. You know, with the drug issues, they were using that in the UK,
Yeah.
and then the issues in the UK when they did drop the word subluxation, that was being brought up in Australia. So all this stuff is very interconnected, and a lot of times we go to our practices, we're happy to do it, and you serve your people, and that's great. And you go, well, I don't have to worry about that. I think it's time chiropractors wake up.
Right.
That's why I love it. Cal Jam, you've got speakers from all different continents, people sharing the message. We got to band together. We got to support these guys. So in your time of need, they support you. And there's some heavy stuff going down. You cannot have your head in the sand anymore. I think it's important. These are really big issues they've got going
You
on.
brought something good too. You just mentioned that you know, seeing kids, that's a big issue in Australia right now. I mean, you really haven't had your finger on that pulse since you haven't been there in a while.
Right. Yeah, I've been missing out on a lot of that. I mean, I follow it as superficially as I can.
Right,
yeah.
of course.
But
And the whole thing with they can't talk about vaccines anymore.
Yeah.
I can't understand. Like anybody else can talk about vaccines, but chiropractors are singled out as the only profession that can't talk about it because we're the most vocal about it because we actually understand real health.
Right.
And like you got dopers that want to bring drugs into chiropractic now. I mean, I've been ranting lately about how drugs are just like to believe in that allopathic model to try to eradicate symptoms without correcting the cause. To me, is like pure lunacy.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, we got to stick together. We got to like band it because the planet is getting really small. It's not like it used to be.
This is exactly the point what Glow was talking about. I mean, both of us were educated in the States, and we both had the feeling that when we're in the States, things are East Coast and West Coast, and anything outside of that just doesn't exist. But like you're saying, the world's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and these are global issues.
Well, here and you just said something too. You said that you got educated in the States, but did you start out in the States?
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't.
Well, no, I started out in England, and then I transferred to.
And that school was real good. Is that why you quit?
No, I transferred because it was not good.
It sucked. Is that?
Yeah, it sucked.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Does it feel good to say so?
Yeah.
Now, how do you say that in Swedish?
Suger.
Okay.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Like I have sugar. Is that bad?
And then you went to Palmer,
I'm a Palmer grad, right?
and was it a good education when you went?
We'll be talking about that a little bit tonight.
Okay.
At the time, I thought it was a good education, yes, but the benefit of hindsight changed that just a little bit.
Okay. And then you went to Life.
Yes.
And that was a good school.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Life. Not a lot of good stuff about Palmer lately. And we're just being open. I mean, the
We're
thing
just
is,
being open. It's okay.
We're being honest.
We can address facts. That's
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
But here's what's cool: is these guys are two beacons in Europe trying to change against the tidal wave. That's really, the majority is against their mindset, and yet these guys are standing for the truth, and they risk a lot in doing so. But isn't that what always built chiropractic? Is people willing to stand up against the grain and do that? So it's really cool. These guys flew over here on Billy D's invite just to do a DCS to 150 rowdy dogs. That's a big commitment.
And a buzz.
And the buzz.
And you got dinner last night too.
We got dinner last
Yeah,
night.
some
He didn't let
buffalo
me pay.
burger.
Just one dinner.
Well, you got dinner tonight too.
Yeah, and a gluten-free bun.